Hello, welcome to Supremacy on the C64. Now, I guess some people might have only played this on the Amiga, but the C64 version is quite decent, surprisingly. This is a strategy game. We're at the opponent selection screen here, where we can decide who you want to play against. But we'll just play against the Wotok, who's the easiest opponent. Now in the background there's a nice piece of music by Tell. It's quite a good tune, but I recommend you listen to it on Play. Right, let's get started. Now, after you've picked your character, surprisingly the game itself is a single load, and once you complete the game it loads in the end sequence. So it's the core of the game is a single load, so that's a huge advantage, especially back in the day if you bought this cassette like I did. There are no compromises in terms of the gameplay being on cassette. So in terms of only a cassette-based strategy game, the graphics are tremendous. Right, that's fine. Right, so you start at your star base here. The aim of the game is to defeat your opponent, who is on the planet at the other side of the this system, the solar system. You can. There are only 8 planets in this solar system, but and they're all lifeless, so you have to travel to them and terraform them. But let's get started. So there's various screens you can access, but the way to start is to make sure that your planet is self-sufficient. So the best way to do that is to build. Let's have a look. Right, you need to build some sort of energy source. So you're better building some solar generators, then you can launch them into space. I think the sound effects are great in this game as well. Tell did the sound effects, and yeah, I like that landing sound effect. Yeah, the sound effects are pretty good as well. So I've launched my power source, so now that's a terraformer. I need that too in a minute, but I'll come back to that. There's different types of crafts that you can build, but I need to build some resources as well, so I can mine, so I can manufacture things. So I'll build one of those, and I'll build a horticultural station so I can supply some food. So now that I've bought these 2 elements, I need to give them a crew. Now you can see on the left hand side, I've only got so many civilians, or at the bottom of the screen, sorry, it tells me how much food I've got in my stores. So you start off with so many resources, and you've got to create more. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put these on the planet, turn them off, turn them on. So I can now mine resources and supply food. So now that I'm reasonably self-sufficient, I can now build a terraformer. So what I need to do now is go back to the right. Oh, that technology is not available yet, so I'll just concentrate on what I'm doing at the moment. Now, what you can also do is you can also build your armies, and then you can put them on ships, and then you can send them to other planets to try and take them over. there's various strategies. You can try and keep control of as many planets as possible, and therefore gather as many resources as possible, and then try and take on the enemy. Or you can just try and take him on as quickly as possible before he has a chance to build up. So this is the government screen. We can go to all your planets and see. You can raise taxes if you think you need more money. But this is an effect on the population, the birth control. The more taxes, the less happy people are, and the less they populate the planet, less they breed, and vice versa. The happier they are, the more likely they are to increase the population. So I've got 9% population growth at the moment. So what the game basically comes down to, you're basically just juggling numbers, to be honest. When it comes down to it, and that goes for a lot of strategy games, I think. But it's clearly quite evident in this one. You spend most of your time looking at the screen and seeing if your supply exceeds your demand. Now, in terms of the game interface, it's all controlled with the joystick. Well, you have to press spacebar to return to this screen. But most screens have other shortcuts to get to the other screens. So, I mean, you can navigate your way without having to return to that screen. And the controller is quite well done, I think. The controls are. Graphically, it's quite smart. There's no doubt about that. It's one of the best looking strategy games on the 64. It compares quite well to the Amiga version. There's not quite as much animation. I mean, if I increase, if you change the type of suit on the Amiga or the weapon, the graphics would change, but in the 64 they don't change. But they're otherwise quite well drawn. It's purely cosmetic difference. Right, news in. The atmospheric processor is now finished, so I can now buy one of them. And I should be able to launch it. So we're now terraforming that planet. Now your opponent gets a bit annoyed that you're starting to take over the planets. Now, it depends on what planet. There's desert planets. There's sort of jungle planets. These affect really what use you want to put these planets to. Some of them are sort of moderate climate planets where you want to create a planet like your starting planet. You want to put quite a lot of population on them. What I'll do is now I'll enlist some people for my army. I can't remember. You can have up to 24 platoons. So if I assign some of my citizens, somebody's trying to contact me. Yeah, your opponent gets a bit upset that you're creating an army now. So if I go back here, my army is now in training. Once it gets to 100% caliber, then I can equip the platoon, and they're ready for combat. What else can I buy? Cargo. These are useful for well, guess what? For transporting cargo. But if you've got a jungle planet, you can transfer lots of food and bring it back to where it needs to go. I think we'll buy one of these again. Just put it on the surface. Let's see how my terraforming is coming along. Still formatting. But what we can also scan the other planets to see if what's happening on them. Right, well, I don't know. That's a very, very quick look at Supremacy on the C64. It's a very, very accessible strategy game. You know, it's certainly not a very hardcore strategy game. It's pretty much just juggling numbers. But yeah, it's quite an enjoyable game. It's played this quite a lot back in the day. It's certainly a good game to while away the afternoons or late evenings. And I did play it on the Amiga. The Amiga version's pretty much identical, apart from a few cosmetic differences. But yeah, the 64 version's perfectly fine. It's just as good to play. There's maybe less. Some of the levels have less planets. I think it's just purely a memory restriction. But yeah, apart from the cosmetic differences, there's almost identical. Yep, so that's Supremacy for you. Quite a good strategy game on 64, there's no doubt about that. What will I give this? Well, let's see what this. We'll see what the planet is. Okay, it's a jungle planet. So what we would normally do here is use that as some sort of food base and transport the food. Right. I'll give this. What score will I give this? I'll give this. I'll give this 9 out of 10. I think because it's a very good strategy game. I think at 64. I don't want to mark strategy games down for being dull or anything like that. It's well worth playing this. It's a good game. Very good game. Yeah, I think 9 out of 10 is a good score. Okay, that's all for this video.